In the winter of 1591, in Istanbul, a master gilder named Elegant Effendi is beaten to death and discarded in a stone well. Within the Ottoman Empire, a gilder holds a sacred role. They are the keepers of a strict, ancient tradition within the Sultan's workshop, where every line and color is dictated by centuries of religious practice. This miniature represents the Ottoman ideal. Artists ignore human perspective, painting the world as God perceives it, flat and absolute. Because divine vision is perfect, individualism is forbidden. Look at the passengers' identical faces. Painting a flawed person suggests the human eye outranks the divine. But the Sultan has a secret plan. He has commissioned a new book intended to showcase Ottoman power to Europe, and he wants it illustrated using the realistic, human-centric techniques of the West. Whispers begin to move through the workshops. The artists fear this new style, with its focus on individual faces and depth, is a violation of sacred law. The murder of Elegant Effendi makes it clear that the Sultan's secret project has become a source of mortal danger for anyone holding a brush. To find the killer, the Sultan turns to Black, a former apprentice who has just returned to Istanbul after 12 years away. He is tasked with infiltrating the guilds and finding the murderer before the project is exposed. The investigation centers on 3 master miniaturists who were working on the Sultan's book. To keep the project secret, they are known only by their nicknames, Olive, Butterfly, and Stork. Black's investigation is complicated by his own past. He is still deeply in love with his cousin Shakuda, and his hope of winning her hand depends entirely on his ability to navigate this dangerous assignment. The stakes rise when Inishtes, Black's uncle and the man overseeing the Sultan's book, is also assassinated in his home. With the bodies piling up, the investigation moves into the drawings themselves. Black begins to look past the physical evidence, focusing instead on the subtle differences in the artist's hands, searching for the one painter whose style betrays an influence from the West. He realizes the killer isn't just hiding in the city. He is hiding within the competing ways these men choose to see the world. This is the style the killer fears. Renaissance painting uses light and shadow to create a 3-dimensional illusion. Notice the individual beard hairs and the glint in the eyes. This captures a unique, imperfect human identity, showing that a single person's perspective truly matters. Compare that to the traditional Ottoman approach. Here, a sultan and a flower are often given equal weight and size, because both are equally small in the eyes of the creator. For the killer, adopting the European perspective is an act of arrogance. He believes that to paint through a human vanishing point is to try and look at the world from the level of God. His motive is born from a sense of existential dread. He views these new shadows and realistic faces as a form of sacrilege that will erase the spiritual truth of his ancestors. To the murderer, these killings are a defense of his universe. He is eliminating his peers to stop the influence of the West from corrupting their sacred art. The mystery concludes when Black identifies the artist, who was so terrified of the changing world that he was willing to kill to keep it still. This gold lattice and calligraphy represent the peak of the Ottoman tradition, a style of beauty that was eventually sidelined as Western artistic techniques became the global standard. The author, Orhan Pamuk, uses this murder mystery to explore the meeting point between these 2 conflicting ways of life. He shows how the shift from a divine perspective to a human one changed the way people understood their place in the world. Pamuk reinforces this by using a polyphonic structure. It is narrated by the characters, the victims themselves, and even inanimate objects, shifting the reader's perspective with every chapter. It is a reminder that perspective is the foundation of truth, and that even a small change in how we see the world can be enough to tear it apart.